Guys, we're back.
We are back.
And I brought Marcus back with me this time.
So
we're just gonna tell you where we are in this process, in this journey.
Journey is the word.
But before we tell you, we just want to recap our mountain trip that we just took a couple of days ago.
Yep.
So we went to
Tennessee.
To Tennessee. And it was beautiful. It was a mini trip.
Cold.
Too short. But on our way up we stayed
at a cabin. It was on a mountain.
Yes, on a mountain. And we had to drive up the mountain.
And she was shook.
And
shook
it was a lot of twists and turns and hills.
Are we gonna make it? Anxiety.
It was a lot because you could literally see,
if you made a wrong turn, you off. You done.
Rocks, a waterfall. Like, it was just like, and there was no guardrail there, so it
very
was like,
windy, and the roads were very narrow too, so another car could be coming. It was like the movies. But it was a metaphor for our journey, and it was something that our sister Lisa, when she really spoken to us, she was like, once we made it to the cabin, which was beautiful, and we'll probably have some videos of that, but she said, well, you know, that mountain for y'all going through this journey, deciding whether to go forward with the transfer or wait, that was a mountain that God allowed you to move away. And because you stepped out on faith and trusted God, now look how your process has accelerated, and it's going to happen sooner than you thought. So sometimes you'll go through experiences in life and like, how is that related? We're on a mountain. Faith can move mountains, and it was just a whole dynamic there where we knew that was the right trip. I wasn't even supposed to be on the trip.
Right. So originally it was supposed to be me and my homegirl Lisa. We were going up there. We always do like a retreat and just reset, realign, and just like, you know, disconnect from the world. We always do a trip every year, and this was going to be our trip. We always kind of pick either the mountains or the beach. And this time we decided to do the mountain, but she was sick. She was having like allergies, and so she could not go on the trip. So Marcus decided to. I was originally going to go by myself.
You wouldn't have made it up there.
And so he came along with me, and he was driving. And
we rented that SUV that had 4-wheel drive too, because if we had a normal car.
Yeah, so so we went up the mountains, and it was just so like, it was crazy how we could relate like all of the twists and turns that we've been on this journey. It was similar to that, because each twist and turn I was scared, and I'm like, oh my God, when are we gonna get there? I cannot wait to get to this cabin. I'm freaking out. Like, I'm not sure if we're gonna make it. Like, there was a point where I got so sick I thought I was gonna throw up. Like, I couldn't even look
it like that before.
At the road. Like, it was
like that. And then even the crazy thing is, once we got there, Dee was like, I'm not leaving.
No,
we didn't go back down the mountain. Once we got to the top, we didn't go back down. We stayed there. We ordered food, had food delivered to us. But then coming back down the mountain, it wasn't as intense as going up the mountain.
No, it wasn't, but it was still a lot of twists and turns. But I'm grateful for that story, because, you know, we went up there and, you know, we unplugged from a lot of things, and, you know, we, you know, just
did the work, and we separated ourselves from like, you know, day-to-day hustle and bustle to be able to just sit back and it just, the timing of everything.
Yes, the timing of it all. And it's like this whole journey, I've been trying to control a lot of things when I didn't have any control over it. And just like this cycle, we said that we were going to take a break, and at the last minute we called the doctor and said, hey, no, we're not going to take a break, we're going to go forward. And it was just kind of like how the process like speed up. Like, we went from step 1 to step 5, and I was not prepared for that. And so,
and from context there, typically when the first day of your period, you call the doctor and said, hey, I want to start, my period just came on, then I want to start this new cycle. And they typically will have her on birth control for a month, and then the following month you'll come in and start doing your blood work. Then if your numbers look good for your blood work, then you'll move on to the next step. Well, this time you call them, all right, cool, you came in for blood work and your numbers look so good. They said, all right, let's move forward with your transfer. And we were like, what? Like, this was in March. Like, thought we would, if we're gonna start again, the transfer wouldn't be until maybe April or May.
Right, yeah. But just to close out the mountain trip, I think the mountain, it just brings a calmness and quietness that just hits your soul and spirit. Like, it's just, I was raised on a farm, and so, you know,
But you ain't going back up there? I don't know why you at.
No, I'm not going back to that cabin because it was just too far.
Deep, like you about to go back to the mountain.
But like literally, I had time to like talk with God. I had time to pray. I had time to breathe air into my lungs that God has given me on that day. You know what I mean? Like, I had a chance to pray for others. Somebody may have been on that mountain that needed prayer to like, like, people, you never know what people are going through. So, I think that everything happens for a reason, and I feel like that mountain was, it was so powerful. It will always mean something so much to me. I can't even put it into words. Like,
it's a perfect metaphor for what we've gone through, and it's a symbol, like knowing that faith can move mountains, and there's so much in the scripture about it. But I also think that it's important, like when you're going through this, when you have the right people, because I think we would have missed
Marcus.
it.
No, because
No, I would say we would have missed the significance of the mountain if Lisa didn't bring that to our attention.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about any of that until she said, no, that's a word. Y'all, everything y'all been going through, the fact that y'all made it to the top of that mountain, and that y'all don't have to, go, you can pick a different mountain because you've conquered that. You've made it to the top with taking the faith to go through with this transfer, not taking a break. Like, sometimes you need other people to speak a word into you to make you realize what's actually happening.
Yes, I do agree with you on that. So, so this is where we're gonna leave off. So after the cabin trip, I had blood work and a baseline on a Wednesday, I think. And everything went good. Shout out to Valerie, the nurse practitioner. She's such a sweet, I love all the nursing staff there. Allie, I love her. She wasn't there. I haven't seen her in a couple of visits, but
wrap it on up.
But Valerie checked, so we had like lining check of my uterus, and so she was like, oh my god, your uterus looks so good, it's like perfect, like it's like,
thank you, Lord,
amazing. She's like, you may get the award for the best lining. And I was like, oh my god, like these appointments are so early in the morning, I really don't give them a lot of but I was like,
you always dry. You dry every day.
Once I got home, I was like, oh, she actually said I had a perfect lining. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm happy. Energy. So basically she was kind of prepping me for my injections that I will start tomorrow, which is the oral progesterone. Don't know how to pronounce it.
Injection. So Nurse Roundtree will be back at it.
This point, it's gonna be not in my stomach, but it's gonna be in my
buttocks, booty.
And so she asked me, was I ready for the injection? I'm like, no.
But we have a transfer date.
Yes, we do have a transfer date. So the transfer date is Wednesday at 11:30. Like, it's crazy because I'm like, when I wasn't able to catch the nurse, so she left me a voicemail and then she sent me a portal. But when I went back to listen to the voicemail, I was just like, so this really means that I'm gonna get pregnant on Wednesday.
Next week we'll be pregnant.
Like, I can't believe it.
Baby Roundtree.
Yo, I'm gonna be pregnant.
And our name's about to change. Mom and Dad, Baba.
I can't think about it, I mean, I can't think about it. It's just like, I have so many emotions behind, like, and I feel like my emotions are delayed because I'm not like a super overexcited person.
Nope, no
but
surprises.
I feel like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it. I'm gonna be pregnant on Wednesday. So yeah, we have a transfer day, and so we're getting prepared for that.
And we are
how
ready.
We're preparing is that we're just trying to
stress-free,
you know,
positive
any
vibes.
Distractions, yeah, positive vibes,
only
praying, meditating, and
eating right. We changed up the diet.
Yes, eating. Yes, I've been eating. I go to acupuncture, and
I pray for me. She be eating some weird stuff. A Brazilian, what was a Brazilian
nuts? Okay, so
$8.
Shout out to Dr. Adrian, because she is my acupuncture lady, and she, you know, because you know acupuncture is like a Chinese
procedure, methodology, or practice. Yeah.
So they believe in, you know, not drinking cold water, like using ice, and it's just a whole lot of things. So she has like retrained my mind here.
So you don't drink any, like, it has to be room temperature water.
Yes.
She wants to keep her temperature of her body a certain temperature. The types of foods, like everything needs to be organic. So we're really shifting our diet.
Yeah.
To make sure that her body is ready for this next chapter and having a very healthy pregnancy.
What would you call that?
I don't know. Tongue tied.
Yeah, so y'all, we're about to the transfer is happening. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. This has been almost 3 years in making. Like, we've
2020, 2021, 2022. This is 4 years.
Well, with the doctors.
With the doctors, 3, but 4 years trying to conceive. Yeah.
So I can't believe it. We're here.
Jesus said, "I'm here now."
Thank you, Jesus. But you know, and I was just telling my friend. That, you know, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm all of that. But I also pray for those that did not get the call that they were expecting.
We've been there.
I've always been on that side every step of the way of the journey. You know, we have had delays after delays.
Delayed but not denied.
And it can tear you to pieces. So if you're watching this and you're going through, you know, and you didn't get the call that you wanted or you expected to have, just don't lose hope. Don't lose faith.
Believe.
Like, you have people out there like me that's praying for you. Amen. And just believing that your journey is, you know, gonna prevail.
It's gonna happen for you. It's hard in those moments, and it's okay to take a break. It's crazy how we thought we were taking a break. And how taking the break the first time last year when we took the break, we needed that to restart it, and then how that got us ready for that first milestone of having 2 healthy embryos. And then this time we were thinking about doing the same, but we pushed through and, you know, got to this spot. So all of the different twists and turns are gonna get to you exactly where you need to be, but don't lose hope, don't lose faith. It's gonna happen. It is gonna happen for you. You just gotta believe. And when it gets really tough, just also know that sometimes the delays are intentional so that you can work on different things as a person, as a couple. Those are also some of the things that I'm realizing that I'm glad that it's happening now, because we've had a chance to do work in our marriage, do work as individuals, you know, get to different places financially. So those are how all of those things are working together for our good. So it's gonna happen.
Yes, it will happen.
It's gonna happen.
And
the right timing.
Yes.
Your timing. God's timing.
Yes. And even if you think you don't have a tribe out there, you definitely have people that you can't see, you can't talk, you don't even know those people, but they're praying for you and they're on your side. So yeah, I hope that, you know, you feel, you know, vibes that we're giving out.
Yeah, the good vibes, and your tribe, it could be someone unexpected.
Yeah.
That's a great thing that we learned. It could be the unexpected.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna do like more detailed videos.
You ain't doing it. We ain't picking this camera. You last time.
No, because I'm very intentional of, you know, when I come on the camera. Sometimes I can't really come. Sometimes
no words.
like these last
got no words.
few weeks, I have just been really fighting. Like I've been struggling with what we're gonna do. Like, oh my God, like I want to hear from God. God's not answering right now. But you know what that saying come? He may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. Okay, because that Sunday I had heard a sermon. Okay, this is gonna be my last story. I'm gonna let y'all go. Sunday I went to church and the sermon was believe what you pray. No, what you pray, believe. That was the sermon title. And when I tell you that my flesh was so guarded, it did not even want me to hear this sermon. So towards the end,
she was twisting and turning. I
was getting it. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get this CD because I need to listen. I listened to that sermon day after day. Every time I get in my car, I listen to the sermon. Listen to the sermon.
Dissect that word. Let it get into your spirit.
Wednesday, my period came on, and I said, "Oh my goodness, what am I gonna do?" And you know what? God said, "What are you afraid of? I've been with you thus far." That's what He said to me. Marcus came out on the patio, and he said, "What's going on with you? What you out here? You know?" And I was like, my period came on. He's like, okay.
What we finna do?
He's like, okay. Bro, literally, I was sitting outside praying and just talking with God, and he came outside. Marcus came outside. And so I was telling him, I was like, you know, this is the conversation I had. I was telling him the conversation I had with God. And I just told him, like, after that sermon, I kept getting confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. And it was like almost like some of the things that the sermon talked about is that if you're hopeless, then you are not allowing your faith to stand out. Like you're not believing in your faith. And he talked about how, like, you know, people that, you know, an example of somebody getting a car. You know, if you get in a car, then you need car insurance. So why don't you before you get your car, why don't you shop for car insurance?
It's an act of faith. You're putting your faith in action.
And so,
and you believe in what you're praying.
Yes. And so I was telling Marcus that week or a week after that, I think I was telling you, and I was like, you know, what are we gonna buy? Because we've always been visual people. I think you're visual too, right? Yeah, we've always been visual people. Like even when like we moved from Charlotte to Texas,
we sold everything.
Not even knowing that we were gonna get to Texas.
But we sold our whole everything. Listen, I sold my Benz.
We sold everything we owned.
We wouldn't sign a lease that was a long term. We said no, we're moving to Texas. We don't know how we're gonna get there. We signed month to month. We stayed in the Airbnb for a month. Like we were determined. We had faith. And God saw it, and He blessed me with a job offer in Texas, and we moved.
So I was thinking the same thing. We've always been big on faith. So I was like, you know, what's going to be our first item that we get our child? Like, get this child, like, so we can visually see it. We're yet to find that item. We said we were going to get a car.
I got one in my closet. I got a onesie.
Oh, yeah, you do have a onesie.
Since last year. I bought that in last year.
But I feel like we need to buy something together.
We can do that together. Yeah, we can do that.
But so I heard that sermon and it was just
and then after the sermon, the bishop said, of all the days we gotta come and get this word.
It was so
I said, Bishop, you dissected that word.
It was so good. It was so what I needed.
When you pray, believe
that is just a
confirmation,
a testimony in itself. That's where things started to turn, because
it shifted. A week later, that same week, Wednesday, boom, you told them Then you went for blood work, and then, okay, well, we can get you ready for your transfer.
The rest is history. But yeah, that's what we came up here to say. So we will see you guys on the next video. I don't know if I'm going to come up here. I don't know if we're going to do a video. Well, we'll just come.
We'll see y'all when we see it. But believe, when you pray, believe what you pray.